Welcome back to the show. We're going to actually reviewing all the new contents out there on all the streaming platforms. Today, we're going to go ahead and actually review one of those K drama, K romance shows and see if their quirky little style vibes with us again. If you like how that sounds, click like, share, subscribe. But let's get into it. So, Crash Course, Crash Course in Romance premiered on Netflix on January 14th. Now, again, this is a K drama and K romance, which means the K stands for Korean, and it is subtitled in English. Means that you're gonna have to do a little bit of reading. But if you are a person that likes to read, or go and actually enjoy international flavor, this is it for you. Each episode is roughly about 70 minutes each, so kind of prep your time on there for that. Storyline goes like this. Nam is a national handball player but has become a grocery store owner in order to look after her family while she grapples with her tutor husband's eating disorder. I know that sounds confusing, and I'm going to go ahead and actually clarify it in a bit, but just so you understand who this is for, this is a romance, a little bit of family drama with the romance. So, understanding that there's a dynamic of mother daughter there, and then the budding romance that's going to slowly kind of develop over the course of the series. So, if you are a fan of either Korean shows or romance, family drama, this is going to be in your wheelhouse. So, let's talk about this. As always, I gotta go ahead and actually give the disclaimer for Korean shows, especially for first time watchers. Their society and culture is different, and social norms and pressures. Now, in this particular series, the aspect of schooling and parenthood are on the forefront of this particular series. Now, schooling is highly competitive, and not just with those who have money, as it is here in North America, where you have to have privilege in order to even really be thinking about higher education, but even among the middle and lower classes, and even some of the poverty ones in Korea, the parents try to get their kids in like the best schools, academies, clubs, etc. It gives them a step up in the next process of life, and the kids study endlessly, and the parents feel pressure to provide the best resources for them. So you have to know this going in, otherwise the story is going to seem absurd to you. Okay? Now, this all relates to a mother, Nam Hang Song, played by Jung Do Young. I always need to apologize ahead of time because my pronunciation of non North American names is horrible. So I apologize. That's why I make sure I put my people's pictures up there so you know who I'm talking about, okay? But for the rest of this particular video, she's going to be Nam, okay? That is the main female protagonist here, okay? Now, she had her dreams dashed when she elected to take care of her niece after her mother, or Nam's sister, abandons her. Now, she runs a shop now and is just making ends meet, but in her efforts to provide a decent life for her, her niece, and her mentally challenged brother, she has kind of neglected her niece's schooling. So remember when I told you about the way that parents are competitive and schooling and all that kind of good stuff? Well, Nam has really, she hasn't gotten the super competitive aspect of things. She's got the niece in school and doing her thing on there, but she's working. She's trying to provide a good life or what have you. She really hasn't thought about the schooling aspect of it, and she's kind of dropped that competitiveness aspect of it. And the niece's grades and her self-esteem is kind of low because of that. Now, how does this go and actually translate to a romance movie? Well, this enters in the top academy professor Choi Chi Yoon, played by Jung Kyung Ho. Now, he is a very charismatic instructor of math at one of the best academies. He's got everything going for him. He's got money, fame, ladies coming after him, young and older, except in his personal life. He's really not able to rest or eat properly because he just has some kind of mental or physiological hang up that he's not able to. So he's a great teacher. People love him. Over there. They treat their teachers like superstars, and he is one of them. But he's got his mental hangups when he's outside the classroom. There's just issues. Now, by chance encounters, Nam has a negative meeting with Choi and doesn't like him because they had a negative encounter. In another chance of situations, Choi eats food from Nam's store, and lo and behold, it's the only food that he can eat that helps him, that he can actually keep down and helps him sleep. So begins the weird cycle of circumstances. As in the case with most K dramas or romances, the circumstances are so weird and complex that it can be crazy to figure out as coincidence. People who are familiar with Korean series will like the usual lightheartedness, soft touch on emotions, and they have this sometimes silly inner dialogue in certain scenes with these K series. It just is what it is, and it once you get used to them, they're cute. It's funny. It gives you a little bit of extra insight into the characters and what have you, but it can be a little off-putting at first. Now, both Nam and Choi are played pretty well, especially Nam. Like you really feel her struggle with the hand that life has dealt her. And there's also a special shout out to her niece, Kim Young Ju, played by Lee Bong Yoon. I so apologize to the Korean culture.
It was a bad plan. You planned things badly.
But she plays the teenage daughter in turmoil pretty well. There's a lot of heart here for fans of these kinds of series. Okay? So we have the dynamic of, the mother-daughter, which is really an aunt-niece type of thing, and then the budding relationship with the aunt and this academy instructor. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, well, that's great for people that love this show, but what about my casual viewers? People that are not fans of K dramas or family series or romances? What is there for them to look at? So, I think for casuals, the biggest thing to overcome is the stresses of coincidence that happens over these people's lives. It can seem incredulous. If I'd say if you think of it more in like absurdities in like soap operas or telenovelas, it'll get you in a better mindset to be able to digest some of the situations that the series finds them in. I mean, there's some silliness on here, sometimes a lot of coincidences or what have you, and sometimes you can kind of feel like, that's a little bit too much. But soap operas and telenovelas do the same thing. And if you can go in with that mindset, you'll be a little bit happier and you'll kind of be able to accept it a little bit more. Also, for English speakers, reading the captions can be a little much when important things are going on. I would say um, this gives a little bit more authentic feel for the emotions of the characters that are going through, as sometimes dubbed voice actors might not give the same performances. So in this series, because it is a romance and there's some pretty dramatic scenes in there with the aunt and the niece and things like that, hearing their actual voices, even if we can't speak the language, you can feel the emotional weight there, and being able to read the captions will not be as off-putting there. So just kind of wrap your head, prepare yourself for it, and I think you can come out of it uh, with the proper expectations and kind of evaluate it on its true format. Let's get to the verdict. For my main people, watch the first two episodes. Now, the information and backstory takes the entire first two episodes to get the full story, and you'll really know if this is like a charming new K romance that you want to add to your list. Because if you're fans of this type of series, you're in from the first two episodes. Like, hey, you're going to give it its proper due, and then it gives you enough backstory that you can make the determination, hey, I like these characters, or nah, they're not for me. For my casuals, I'm also going to say go ahead and I should give it two episodes. Now, the story is fleshed out so you can really understand it after those first two episodes. And to be honest, the first 40 minutes of the first episode kind of plods along. And you really don't get, I think, really what the breadth of the series is until you get to the final half of the first episode and then all of episode two. So I really want you to go and actually be able to watch it because I think this is worth watching it. It's got enough interest in regards to the romance story, the drama with the kid, and there's some funny moments in there where you kind of get chuckling on there that I think you deserve it yourself to go and actually watch at least the first two episodes to make that determination for you. So for everybody, watch the first two episodes for it and see what you think about Crash Course in Romance on Netflix. You stay to the end. I appreciate you. I love you like a K romance. If you're staying this long, you might as well go and click like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. But till next time, I'll holler at you. Take care of yourself.